What's up, everybody, and welcome back. Today's episode, Hell Hollow. Patchogue State Forest is the largest of Connecticut's 32 state forests, at present day encompassing 26,474 acres and 6 towns. The towns being Voluntown, Sterling, Griswold, North Stonington, Plainfield, and Preston. It was established as a state forest in 1928 in Voluntown with 1,011 acres purchased from the Briggs Manufacturing Company. Patchogue is a native word meaning bend or turn in the river. It is named after Patchogue River that runs through it. Hell Hollow is a small area inside Patchogue State Forest. It does not get its name from the many legends and ghost stories that surround it, but simply the land was too rocky for farming. That was not for lack of trying, though. The people who stuck around and chose did not fare well. There are many myths and legends that surround the area. One being a colonial soldier on a sharp bend on Breakneck Hill Road, just off of Hell Hollow Road. Another are the screams of a young girl, supposedly Native American, that can be heard throughout the forest. Legend has it that she was murdered by soldiers in the area. And of course, the many myths surrounding young Maud Reynolds. One of that she was a witch. Two, she was the daughter of a witch. In both cases, the legend says she was hung. And that she was an almost 2-year-old little girl who died choking on an apple or died of diphtheria, or both at the same time. In a span of 2 years, 1888 to 1890, Gilbert and Lucy Reynolds lost 3 children to diphtheria, which is an infection causing the throat to swell. The last being little Maud, just 3 months shy of her 2nd birthday. Maud's 2 brothers, Earl and Gilbert, were buried in the family cemetery, but Maud was not. It is unclear to this day why Maud was not buried in the family cemetery. Throughout the years, this 2-year-old little girl has been accused of being a young and old witch, in both cases hung for her crime. The myths and legends have intertwined so that she is also the native girl screaming. She has been a demon summoned by the devil to cause havoc at Hell Hollow, and she haunts the very spot where she is buried, which is weird because Maud has 2 grave sites. There is the family cemetery, which has been lost to time and almost impossible to find unless you know exactly where it is. And there is the one that everybody knows about. Now, I have been to both by myself and with my team, Arrowhead Paranormal, and we have honestly caught no evidence at either site. In both cases, the scariest thing was the coyotes. And honestly, if I was Maud in the afterlife, I would be extremely upset with the way that people have treated her. In closing, I lived about maybe 5 miles away from this growing up, and I've heard stories not just from the local town people, but from my own family. Now, the second gravesite of Maud used to have car access. It used to be a road. Now it's just a walking trail. But there have been rumors that if you stop your car in front of her grave, then your car will stall out and it won't start back up. I've heard several people say that that has happened to them. I've heard people tell me that they have actually seen and heard her, and I don't know, I just think it was a little girl that died of either choking on an apple or she had diphtheria. I don't think there's anything special about her at all. And people have just blown this whole thing out of proportion. So now the town I grew up in has yet another legend and myth. So that is all from me for this week. I hope to see you again next week.